Let's now focus on the Indigo meltdown and massive disruption in India's skies as Indigo airline faces a full-blown crisis. Thousands of passengers have been left stranded across the country with flights cancelled. The DGCA has questioned Indigo over the massive cancellations, and for a reason behind these disruptions, Indigo submitted its report to the regulator. Now the regulator will brief the Aviation Minister. The Aviation Ministry meeting over the issue will be at 4 p.m. So the Aviation Minister really stepping in the face of this massive crisis. One of the big reasons seen for the disruptions is implementation of the updated crew rostering rules. These are new rules which focus on providing pilots and crew with adequate rest, but it's now being seen after these rules have kicked in that this chaos is taking place. Airports of places like Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Jammu, Ahmedabad, among others, are seeing these long queues. You can see those visuals there. Overcrowded terminals, angry passengers. At least 70 flights were cancelled in Delhi, including arrivals and departures. Meanwhile, around 55 Indigo flights taking off from Delhi or landing in Mumbai have also been cancelled, and those visuals showed the passengers looking distraught and distressed. In fact, in many airports, arguments also broke out between the passengers and officials, with passengers demanding clarity on travel plans. Indigo's mega footprint, which includes 2,200 daily flights, 400 plus aircraft serving 130 destinations, highlights just how big the disruption could be for India's largest airline. So NDTV has been bringing you those reports of all the crises taking place, and a meeting just took place right now between the airline and the DGCA. All right, now let's take a look at which airports have been impacted, and we already told you about the Delhi airport that has been impacted with several dozens of flights having been cancelled. Mumbai Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport also impacted. Bengaluru as well. Ahmedabad, the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel International Airport. Jaipur International Airport as well. The Jammu Airport, Pune Airport as well. As you can see there, Jaipur, Pune, Kolkata, Chennai, all these airports have been impacted by the Indigo meltdown or the flight cancellations. So let's now take a look at what is the trouble, what is causing this problem, these flight cancellations. Well, there are a series of reasons: acute crew shortage, which is the new, thanks to the new roster rules that have come in, technical glitches, airport congestion, but it is really the new roster rules which had been announced earlier by the DGCA, and this was so that pilots and crew members could get adequate rest. So certain rules were brought into place, and they have only now kicked in, and it's causing this huge problem. The question is why Indigo didn't sort it out earlier, given that they knew these rules would come in. What it means is higher weekly rest for the pilots, for the crew members. Night landings per pilot has been cut from 6 to 2. Duty time has also been limited. It limits flying to 8 hours a day, 35 hours a week, 125 hours in a month. And this is really for the safety of passengers, for the safety of flights, to ensure that the pilots and the crew have had adequate rest. So why are other flights not impacted? Well, as we told you there, Indigo has the largest share of domestic flights, and that is the reason over 2,000 flights being run by Indigo all over the country. So when will the situation improve? That's the big question, and that is what all passengers are asking us. What we can tell you so far, what we know, is that it is within 48 hours is what we're being told. Long 48 hours it's going to be for passengers across the country, and those who are going to see a big issue in their travel plans. Well, NDTV's reporters have been there in various airports in Hyderabad, in Bengaluru, as well as in Delhi, speaking to passengers. Here are those reports.
So at least 70 flights that are either arriving or departing from here have been cancelled, and that's the reason why there is such a long queue at the Indigo counter itself, where people are trying to inquire about the delays that have happened, and also the number of hours that they are spending here, when they can get out of this. I'll start with you. How long have you been here? What's your name? Where are you from?
My name is Anil Matthew. I live in Pune. I had this flight at 8:50 last evening, and initially we got messages that the flight is delayed by 1 hour, from 11:15 to 2:15, then 6:15, and finally after a lot of chaos they have allowed to board a flight at 7 in the morning. And again we noticed that only the hostesses were there, and the captain and the commanding, the first officer was not there in the flight. We were made to sit in the aircraft for more than 3 hours. Then after a lot of hue and cry, 2 pilots came in. Again, after some time, they announced that they are not getting the ATC clearance from Hyderabad, and they are also not getting the parking bay in Pune either.
Now again I got a message that it will delayed more 4 hours. Actually, I got a meeting in 8 o'clock in Mumbai.
You had to miss that as well.
Yes,
so let me just go across to one other person. What flight are you looking at, and what have you missed out on?
I'm looking at Chennai. Both of us are due to go to Chennai since 6 in the morning, and it's just being rescheduled again and again and again. And it's crazy chaos down at the gates. Everyone waiting to come out, move their bags out.
So that's the terrible situation that we are talking about here at Hyderabad.
My flight was supposed to be at 9:45, but I got a message yesterday saying, not an email even, it's over the WhatsApp message saying that the new timing for my flight is now 6:30 p.m. It got delayed and I'm coming from a different city. So I had to book ticket way before train to come to Kolkata. Obviously, I'm gonna go and speak to the Indigo counter, and I don't know if they'll allow me in because usually it's 4 hours before the boarding time you're allowed. But I have nowhere to stay right now, so I can't spend my all money on hotel accommodation because of the problem that happened. And they did not give a prior information before.
So just like her, several passengers have been hit due to the widespread cancellation and delay of the Indigo flights across the country. Now the DGCA is going to be holding a meeting with Indigo where they will be presenting a report as to why so many flights have been cancelled. The press statement that was put out by Indigo yesterday stated that apart from technical issues, weather conditions, ATC issues, the reason why Indigo hasn't been able to be on time is because of the crew rescheduling of their roster. The pilots have new norms. Over here in Kolkata, you can see that several of the Indigo flights have been delayed. One to Port Blair has been cancelled, and this is the status this morning from Kolkata airport. Now, when a passenger travels by Indigo, you can always hear them say before time departure, before time arrival. In fact, the Indigo always uses the Indigo standard time while flying from one sector to another, and Indigo is known as a airline that is always on time, and rarely do they have any delays. But this widespread cancellation only for Indigo Airlines has raised questions and of course left the passengers absolutely grappling with a condition which they were not aware of in this peak holiday season.